I'm Rodd Duff, your host.
And I'm producer Barbie.
And together,
we bring you our podcast,
Insights and Straight Talk. And with that, producer Barbie and I are out. Stretching feels good, doesn't it? Well, actually, it's not stretching, right? With that thing. So I'm doing another ad hoc kind of presentation, a little discussion. I want to talk, obviously, coffee and tea time, insights with coffee and tea time are on coffee and tea time. Kind of screwing around with that. I'm not sure how to make that a name because this needs to be something bigger than just every once in a while. It needs to be a dedicated thing. So going all fancy today, huh? So I wanted to say, I want to talk about open mic, of course, and thank you. I came on like 15 minutes ago, and then I just set a couple of things up. And Rich Chill already had a thing there. What's up? You got any decaf? And I responded, yeah. It's weird. It comes up twice. Let's go that way. Or do we like it that way? I don't know why I have two. Oh, because I'm streaming to two different things. But I said, no decaf in my world, brother. I feel like I need a little caffeine today. It's been a long week. I promised I would come back on and talk about some of the meetings we've had. And this is where I say, there's something happening here. What it is, I ain't exactly clear. Anyway, I hope that didn't sound really, really bad because I just decided to do it. You know how those things go. All right. So that thing about something happening here, we've been talking a lot, and there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of, I like the word vibration, but there's a lot of something happening here. And, this isn't a chance to come on and be, hey, we're cool. But it is cool. You guys are cool. This whole thing is becoming cool. And it's created another side of listening to the whole thing, not being ready to just jump in, but being curious, not judgmental. And now it's becoming a bit of some energy. We talked about that tipping point, that precipice. I think we're pretty close there. We're kind of sneaking up on some stuff. I have people reaching out, and that I want to lead into saying that we have a mission. We have several missions. Okay, this is about the great middle class. We have the interest and the concerns that we talk about day in and day out amongst the great middle class. And that's a variety of subjects, as you know. Today in open mic, bring up any questions that you open mic at coffee and tea time. This is the time to really just kind of loosely talk about anything. But I'll tell you one thing, and I'm asking you guys a favor. Today, I sent information out early because some people have contacted us looking to help do something for a legacy. And you guys all know by now, Fullerton Music Centers is a, hey Todd, how you doing? Is a legacy, a musical icon, local. I mean, if you ask somebody in Wyoming, they may not know, but anyway, you know what I mean. This is the place where Linkin Park and strings of other bands played concerts, private for us. And I said, the Fender museums, became built over like across the street, not kitty corner, across right. She's right on Harbor Boulevard. Now it's on Commonwealth. In a couple of weeks from now, I don't know. I don't know what it's where. How, I don't know, but that's not the point. The point is that legacy has always been. In any family, you have things that you have genes that make you certain ways and all that, but you also have the environment. You have, my mom's loud, obnoxious, amazing salesperson, gifted, and I'm not all of that, but all the loud and obnoxious stuff, I definitely, you would see that in her. I used to say, what did I say? You could hear her whispering from a block away. I hope that doesn't sound mean, but she's got an amazing presence. She passed away a number of years ago, and so my point being, some people have asked, well, legally and all that, whatever. But how do you want to go with that legacy moving forward? It's not going to be the continuing legacy. It'd be like jumping on the track and continuing the legacy I envision. But at this point, I want to really kind of lay out some of the interesting and exciting things that people have come to start offer about, hey, how can we help with this legacy thing? Especially some music people, obviously. But so we're going to start driving the AI classes, and obviously we need to still brand ourselves. We're not, I don't know where we are right now, but I think it's like 8,000. It was 8,050. We get a couple 10, 20 a day. So I don't know where we are, but anyway, we need, please keep supporting us, keep moving on the full movement, because what we're talking about today, move this over so I can see what he's saying. How will you prep for the I don't prep, man. I just have any of you guys like Matchbox 20 or Rob Thomas, specifically Rob Thomas, and he talks about things in his head, his songs, or that every single verse he writes is like, God dang it, man, stop it. You're saying exactly me. Why are you writing songs about me? I mean, I appreciate it, but no, that guy touches, man. He's all over it. So these thoughts just, my life is becoming an amazing, very cool place to live. That's recent. It isn't, I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun. So I don't get as much sleep as I should at all. And several of you have kind of slapped my hand about that. And you know what? Yesterday, so I went to Chicago. Remember, I was telling you guys that had a meeting, well, a couple with strategy meeting, and then kind of a get to know each other meeting. It's just, in a cafe, and Arboretum Cafe. Shout out to the Arboretum Cafe downtown, downtown Chicago, Lincoln Park, actually. Kind of a funny coincidence, but we talked about a lot of things. And I'm not going to talk about who and this and that, because that's not my place to do in this regard. Although I'll tell you that there's maybe some pretty good stuff additionally going on. Some more collaborative, some more cooperation, which just, of course, brought, hey, Ronaldo, there's your wavy hand. I'll put you up in a second. So where I'm getting at, and that's actually, she's kind of kicking the vibe off. We're chatting back and forth and talking about not getting so involved in the specific questions to give to the host, because I'm more attentive, right? If you start splitting your activities, your mind is amazing and wonderful and able to do all more than we know it does, but it also concentrates, right? That's the human being. So, man, I'm going all over the place. I just wanted to stay focused on the legacy of Fullerton Music Centers, and I had this meeting yesterday, and it was, like I said, it was a get to know each other meeting. Kind of a, hey, there's something here that is good, that works. Give me more depth of you, meaning me. Kind of got interviewed yesterday. It was an awesome interview. Listen, I was expecting to go there, spend, I don't know, an hour. In my machinery business, you typically meet with somebody for about an hour-ish, maybe a little bit more, but never really, it's too long at that point. How long we're there 3.5 hours. I think, two. I left at about 2:30. I got there at 11. I was late because of yesterday's show, which was awesome. It was actually a prep to get into this discussion. Scheduling meeting, awesome. But now on my way back out of Chicago, I had a long trip because traffic, right? Chicago's, wow. Big cities are tough to get around in, and I don't get why. I mean, I get why, but it shouldn't. I mean, we should all be kind of going. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. I want to talk about Fullerton Music Centers, and maybe Mo's Fullerton Music Centers and media services, community. We've got a music centers. We've got a writing, because that's another thing I want to build into that, like music, writing, and media services. There's been a lot of recording prowess, in that world there, and it's a musical world, so there's a lot of it there, and it's very cool. I mean that the musical. I'm not just talking about the Fullerton Music Centers here, but the artistic. Hey guys, thanks a lot, man. A lot showing up. Got some good questions coming in. We're going to talk about surfing a little bit. You guys read some of my stuff, but yeah, let's talk about me too. I'm good with that. I mean, let's talk about Fullerton Music Centers and where we're going to go with that. And I want to get to. There's a producer that reached out. Actually, somebody we've kind of got to know each other. Great guy, man. And his stuff, just people keep coming over and saying, "Bam, that was all." Boom, boom. I mean, they're very active over there. But anyway, he reached out. I sent him a, "Hey, check this out tomorrow," and he's like, "Dude, I'm all over it. What do you need? Let's jump on." And then 2 or 3 other people, same sort of thing. And it kind of takes me back, or sets me back, because I've been pushing a rock uphill for years. I mean, this isn't like the first time I've gone, "Hey, what?" I stuck my head back out of the sand, and now what's going on? I've been on this freaking thorny path for years and years and years. We talked about it a little bit yesterday too, because there's the whole legal side of things and balancing, are trying to beat statute of limitations on things that needed to be met earlier than, because they already happened, didn't know about it. So, I actually, for the first time, this mission is really exciting. I have a voice, well, literally and figuratively, and I'm being driven into this, and it's attracting the right people, are, you know what I mean by right people, people of that knowledge, that vibe, that, you know, writers and singers and artists and everybody, and Ronaldos of the world as well. Very artistic. As a matter of fact, I think it was last night or this morning, I was up and she she said, you know, if I really wanted to, because she's just gorgeous stuff. I mean, you know, I found out she just does it on a phone with a couple of softwares. She said, if I really wanted to, I could I could just rip it off. So anyway, I love creativity. We all have it. We've talked about this before. But that world, the people, they're different. You know, I grew up in my foot in a couple different worlds. We'll talk about surfer jock in a minute. It's a real thing in Surf City, USA. Well, at least it used to be. I don't know. So this voice is starting to, you know, it's a mission now. It's something that's important that we need, that I need to at least be able to take what was been given to me my whole life and carry that forward in some sort of way. And me as an individual, I have no chance. I'm not my mom in that area. I'm not tied in. I have friends, you know, a lot of friends in the industry, but you know, all of a sudden people are showing up that are tied in, and you know, hopefully that creates more and more. Anyway, this is not a throw stones crusade. This is, let's get together and figure ways to move that forward as it should, that legacy, and not okay, it's important to, yeah, it's important to me, of course, but it's important to not lose something else. You know, that world is a beautiful world that we all need to kind of mesh more together, because when I need to go, and up till now I just live in it, but sort of, but up till now I had to get into that because I'm a businessman, you know, suit and tie and, you know, hard soled shoes. You know, that's a different mindset, right? And so many healing moments happen by getting back in with that crowd, those groups, talk, chat, and you know, compare lyrics and notes and all the stuff that goes on. All right, I'm going to get into Huntington Beach in a minute here. Actually, I'm going to get into it right now. I'm going to have Chris help me here. Chris Hanna, how you be, man? Biggest life lesson you learned from surfing in Huntington Beach: the importance of, the most important, there's so many things. I used to crew too in Newport Back Bay. And one time, actually a couple of different things. There was a whale that was swimming underneath me through the channel at one time. And then another time, a couple of seals messed around and ended up jumping across the thing, you know, just messing around. You know, I used to scuba dive. I actually, somebody I was with, the meeting that we were talking about, we're figuring out backgrounds and, you know, where crossovers can really make an important impact. And we were talking about scuba diving. Oh my God, there's so much importance, the feeling, the frequency, the energy, the vibe, all the things we want to say, is fed. Thank you guys, 400. We're getting a good, I appreciate it, man. Spread this around, this story, because the most important thing I have learned since, unfortunately, I should have learned more, to be honest with you, Chris, because if I was then who I am now, I would have got a lot more out of it, because I have a lot of surfer friends, and, you know, that doesn't leave you like music. It doesn't leave you. It's that flow, that thing that stays there. It's kind of like ticking on just a little touch onto your DNA there or something. Just trying to be creative. So, nature, big time. God, we need that. And we've talked, several different experts have come on and talked about that. But it also, I have been a person who's had a mask, we've talked about this too, a mask over their face their whole life. And because of a series of events, that has all gone away. And this is the phoenix. This is what's coming out of the ashes. Well, Phoenix, okay, you guys may not agree, but definitely this is what's coming out of the ashes. And thank God for that, because if I was still I wouldn't be here right now. Well, I probably wouldn't be here right now, but I wouldn't be here right now because I always hid this. Not hid it. I pushed it back until I needed it so bad I was about to explode. So I'd write. I'd get back in with the community. There's a whole crap load of friends that I have on Facebook, all from Huntington Beach, and they're spreading around a little bit, but man, that water is addicting. So that's that whole thing basically, I think, set me up for the vibe I'm able to have now that I hid for so long, if that makes sense. I think did you know? I used to be able to, I think I said it in the thing, in Huntington Beach, high school, I had a science class. You have all your different classes. It's not like out here, it's open campuses. You walk outside in between classes. Very differently cool than out here. And I get it, snowstorms and all sorts of crap, tornadoes and all that. All they have is earthquakes out there and buildings fall down. So, it's, and fires. Oh my God, fires. Come on, Governor, get your crap together, would you? Jiminy crickets. Quit blaming everybody. And the mayor, come on. What? Come on. All right, enough of politics right now. So, Huntington Beach is and was, to me, and is to everybody else, a big deal. A lot of memories there. And, that whole, you go Huntington, Newport, Laguna. Oh, Laguna. I remember before Huntington, we lived in San Clemente, and I used to jump on my skateboard, get an image here, and my arm with my surfboard under my arm, skate down to the beach where the surf is, and then I skateboard back. That was before I had a car, and all that stuff. And in between, I lived in Illinois. Boom, bam. So 3 high schools, 8 elementaries. You guys know the story. So the vibe. I'm going to say vibe. I use it way too much. I don't know why I'm addicted to that word now, but I am. Right. So that water, that board cutting through with when that curl comes over you and you're in this moment, there's something about nature's one thing, but then there's something with joining nature. Think about it. You're in movement and cooperating with nature. So that's an extreme colorization, but a few layers of color in there, right? But it's true. And anybody who's ever surfed, and my Barbie's brother, producer Barbie's brother, is obviously about my age. I think he's a year older. But man, this dude is always has been big time surfer. A number of years ago, he got the opportunity, the chance to move to a island. Okay, I can say this. Bali. Y'all know what Bali is. What Bali is. And that's what he does. He lives on the beach. He's got a house that literally is on the beach. I think it's two levels. I've seen a bunch of video and pictures of it. I'm so jealous of people that have the perfect life. It's just no. Envy is just a good thing to keep you poking at you a little bit, but don't get into envy. That's one of the original sins, isn't it? Right? So I think that's enough about Huntington Beach right now. Man, there's so many stories there. Did I tell you I was a surfer jock? I wrestled. I played football. Shoot beach volleyball, 2-person beach volleyball. I used to play that all the time. Right? What would that be? South of the pier. There's those volleyball nets. Anybody who's been there, man, I was ripped. Oh man, I love volleyball. I used to watch the girls team at our Huntington Beach High School. They were very, very good. And the basketball team, all that camaraderie, which by the way, it isn't here anymore. Hopefully it's coming back, but all that stuff. Should I tell you? Yeah, I'm going to tell this. So my senior year was at half my junior and my senior year. We came back from Illinois, and that's a whole story. And started halfway through my junior year and all of my senior year. I don't know if they still have them. They probably get there's probably too many safe spaces, and there's not enough room to do like senior pranks. You used to make your mark on that year as you left to go out into the next step. And not a formal, not even a productive thing. You just do, and we did 2 of them. We had the little group had the school has a center where instead of picnic tables they have hills and little hills and green and grass and trees and really nice really cool little benches where everybody goes to lunch. I don't even know if they have an indoor cafeteria, actually. I don't know. Wow, never thought about that. But that was called the Quad, or probably still is called the Quad. And we used to have food fights across the Quad. Like we'd launch tomatoes, and not massively and all the time or anything. We didn't even get in trouble for it. Just a couple. Our group there. I think it was typically juniors against seniors, and just throw a couple things out there. It wasn't as bad as I just made it sound, but for senior prank, we filled up the teacher's lunchroom, bean bags with the foam inside. We filled it up with that foam beads. And then the best one, but probably the worst thing we did, we stole we borrowed one of the lunch tables. It's one of those big round lunch tables where you've got seats. People you could fit probably 15-ish or whatever people around the table. So we took one of those, and we put it on upside down on the top of my car, and we drove it to where I lived, and we spent the next week all guys. You'll know why in a second. And hey, this was back in the 80s. So I know we all get in trouble for being a toxic, right? Toxic male. And this is going to actually help that argument, but it was in the 80s, and my senior year, I was 18 years old, and everybody else was probably about or a little bit younger than I. Turned it in June. That's my birthday, and other reasons too. But we made a list that we need to go out and get. This was actually, if it wasn't so stupid, it's very impressive because we're a bunch of jocks, surfer jocks. There were the burnouts. What are some of the other names? But all those names and surfers, they're hardcore surfers. And you got to have that, at the Surf City, USA, Huntington Beach, California high school, right? So we took this table. We bought all our supplies prior to that because we had planned out what we're going to need, and we spent. And this went around to all the school. We put together a checklist. I'm going to slowly get into this. A checklist. And in that checklist, there are please rate according to this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then the score is between here and here. And it's kind of a rating thing, right? It took a lot of work because we took 100, the top most beautiful girls in junior and senior level, mainly senior. We did our own little court. You know how you have the court. So it actually turned out to have a lot of positive response, and I'll get to. And it actually kind of became a bit famous around the whole district. I'll tell you why that too. God, I was only going to get on for a minute. How long am I? Oh, okay. So what we did is we stripped down it's plexiglass, the chairs, and then aluminum, steel, that kind of and it's probably, I don't know, 10-foot diameter maybe. We took it, put it on top of my car, drove it to my place, and in the garage, the supply sat, and we turned it back off and over, and then we prepped. And then we started cutting out. We took the numbers in. We went through the raw data, and we rated the top 100 girls in school by physical. And there was one mental thing there, but it was a guy thing. It was a sexist thing. Not a sexist. It was, I don't know. I'm probably going to get some nasty notes on this. I'm going back to the questions. Hey, Bradley, there you are. Hey, Bradley, you're 3 days in a row. Dude, you're loving it. Hey, pass around to all your friends. So, and I hope I don't lose a whole bunch of subscribers here, but it was really actually kind of cool because we went from 1 to 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, according to the tabulation of the assets, so to speak. And went down to 50, and then the bottom 50, or the next 50 was in no particular order and didn't have any rating. I mean, it's not like this is not a mean thing, but it is rating girls, and it was pretty damn cool. And here's the thing: we brought it back towards the end of it, right before the end of the school year. And plopped it in the quad, and it was shellacked or varnished over. I mean, this thing was a piece of art. It was straight across, all the way down, and then it had description, and it was all in kind of a, you had to cut it out with a knife, and the lettering, and you go like that. So this was not just slap some paint on here, right? Number one. This was a very artistic and very collaborative and very fun thing. But what really got crazy is about a week later, it disappeared, and we thought, oh shit, we're in trouble. Somebody obviously, there's something. Why is it not here? Are we going to get thrashed? Well, as it turns out, it went through the local newspaper at not Seacliff. That was a housing. Why did that just do that? Oh, something happened. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I did. Oh, we got 600 and so. So one of the other schools in our district, right? It's about probably 10 miles, 15 miles away. Cease Cliff? No, damn it. Anyway, the local newspaper there sent out an article with a picture of our table in their pool. And then a little bit later, it ended up in Fountain Valley's pool. And I don't know what happened after that. And I never saw it again. But that was Huntington Beach. I've got so many more stories because here's the problem. Getting back to, Chris's comment or question. If I hadn't been a surfer, probably I would. Thank God I had a little bit more of a mellow side to me. That's all I'm going to say. So here we got, Chris again. How did Mo's music shape your journey in the music and meaning? Boy, that's a good one. And that's 600. Chris, thank you for that question. How many people do it? Okay, we're fine. A lot. When you're a kid, of course you do. You were the kid. Did you ever look back and realize who you are is the full culmination of everything in your life to that moment? So every one of you, all of you, are exactly a culmination of every experience you've had throughout your, in my case, 62 years. And 40 of that, 45 of that was part of that journey. Now I went away, came back, did things, went to college. First job was there. I remember at the old store before she bought the Levitt's showroom across the street on Harbor Boulevard. And the funny thing was my first house in Placentia. We lived in a couple of different houses, Deb, and the mother of my children. And we moved in and didn't know this, but right across the street was the Levitt's house. I thought, wow, that's interesting. And then they sold it, and this really cool family moved in. But just some coincidences there. They kind of stick with you. Not that, but that was ironic. But I'll tell you what does is, as I get older, or I have gotten older, I look back to that big part of good, bad, and indifferent in my life. Everything happened there. If you guys remember Hands Across America, that went right in front of my mom's store before she moved over to, like I said, across the street to the Levitt. We held hands. Austin wasn't born yet. My mom, me, Brandon in my hands, and I don't even remember the guy's name. Somebody next to me, and it was a mad. If you were around at the time, it was a magical moment. It was just very cool. A unity. Could you imagine doing that today? I wonder what that would look like. I wonder. Maybe they ought to try and do something like that today. Of course, that was back when I think it was Jerry Brown was okay. He was a little, and then Schwarzenegger area, which was a confusing mix. It was an interesting mix. But these good, fine, solid, good stuff. But today, I don't know if they could even handle that. I know there's an Olympics coming up in a few years, right? I think the next one is in LA. Is it? I don't know. But that's a complex thing to add to complexity. That isn't. Now, I did hear from somebody yesterday that San Francisco is actually starting to clean up their area. The businesses finally blew back so hard, And we all know what San Francisco is like, or at least you should if you don't. Not your job or anything, but anyway. So let's look at how music and the meaning. So all of that I just kind of, excuse me. I'm going to turn off my mic for a second and take a drink. I've had this cough come and go. Yesterday, we were eating some sandwiches and tea. Oh my, so good tea. Again, shout out to the Arboretum Cafe downtown. I think it's right on Lincoln. Anyway, that was awesome. But I had a bite of really good. There was these finger sandwiches kind of thing. Really good bread, grain bread, all healthy and all that. But I took a bite and it went down. You guys have had this, right? It went down the wrong side of the throat and it got caught right here. And a person was sitting next to me that we were talking goes, okay, I think it's time I'm going to go freshen up because this isn't going to, and then you're going to have like 3 minutes of raspy voice. So I'm just going to so she ended up not going because we ended up getting right back into the conversation. Yeah, that's tough, right? I mean, you've had that happen. So music has always shaped me because it touches me. I talked about Rob Thomas earlier. I talk about the store. I talk about all the people that I developed relationships with. Larry Sampson, a producer, retired, major Dodger fan. So he's living the high life right now. I think the oldest employee, with Mom, and he produced a number of bands and taught, just like Janelle and Baba, bass player, probably one of my favorite people. He was that dude, he's just so cool, very nice, very cool, tall, good looking, big, kind of curly hair, just a cool dude. And there were 100 others. So literally there's so much going on there. It was fascinating. And I lived in that world. And that world, let me describe it this way. When she moved into Levitt, she built everything. She made a cave because it's 2 buildings. And instead of just opening it up, she had somebody, she didn't know, but she had this whole, and the thickness was like, I don't know, 12 feet, something like that. And she made a cave. So it was round, and then it was all brick, and then inside, same thing. And then there was carpet, obviously, but she had this not Mary Poppins, the gold, the gold filled street thing. That was pretty cool. And that led back to the concert area on the left. You went that way. And then beyond that was all bunch of other stuff. And then you go that way and you have more teachers of students in these really cool glass things. And then you have this whole largest distributor of sheet music, I think, on the entire West Coast. Stuff you couldn't find, and anything you this is old school. Anything you couldn't find, tell me what you're looking for, and they'll special order it and let you know when it comes in. Really cool place. Largest harmonica supplier in the world. I think the world. Yeah, well, at least the U.S. But the harmonicas, back then, ukulele, it was all music, everything around was music, and from all over the world. She had bongo drums from Africa, especially brought, different stuff how music affects you. We used to get to go to a concert and go backstage to the Bee Gees, and then way more stuff. So that world it was exciting. No, it's not exciting. It was awe-inspiring. It was like, wow, it can be like this. And it really drove me towards music. And I've been in several musicals, and I went through college, a business and theater major. And then I panicked after, not a lot of self-confidence at that point. And so I took the safe route and built my business, my tools in business, all in business. I kept my foot in there. I mean, great. My oldest friends are all in music and video and production and that kind of stuff, basically. But I carry around the sum of all that I have been and that has been experienced, just like you do. And when you ask how did it affect my journey, it created a journey that I've come back to now. Unfortunately, when I was through the valley of the shadow of death, there are evil. There shall be no evil. I spent a lot of time hanging out in that valley. I'm evil. I'm not evil. I never have been. But I look back at then and I go, man, I missed out on so much, and other people missed out on so much because I was behind a mask. And it's not. I guess, yeah, I am definitely more confident about life in general. Through sales, a great amount of success and reputation came about. So obviously you build your confidence and all that. But I always kept my foot over here. And finally, about a year and a half ago, I started unwinding the thing that I didn't like, especially anymore. And it wasn't me. It's mechanical. It's engineering. It's all, it's part of the middle class of America. But it didn't speak to me. I relied on the joy of giving presentations and talking to customers like this. And that's kind of how this developed. So, in the end, what journey do you take? You take God's journey, and that doesn't always have a straight line. As a matter of fact, I think usually it doesn't have a straight line. And for me, I don't think it should have a straight line. Not enough experience of life happens on a straight line. There's a lot of this. I mean, if you're coming out, hey, beep, beep, you're grabbing. By the way, I'm going to be appearing on another show. The guy we talked to the other day, the mental health and AI. He sent me an invite, and we're going to chat more. But the way to look out. I got to get rid of that. The way to look at things is by gathering the tools. Remember, he was talking about the tools, and where he grew up, there were different tools, which at the end of the day benefited him. But growing up, needing those tools wasn't necessarily a great thing. That's 2 days ago. Watch that video. Check it out. So that meaning is a very broad brush. My response is a very broad brush thing, but it shouldn't be anything other than that, because it's a path, and it's all what builds you. And who was saying that? You know what? We've had this a couple of different times, and listen to this. It makes a lot of sense. The world you experience is through your own eyes. It's an interpretation, right? I mean, people look at the same thing differently, because it's coming into their experiences or their experiences in life or their experiences in life. And then the brain with that, and the brain's an amazing thing, but it uses what it's given, just like AI, just like a computer. And what it does is it analyzes things through the lens of your experiences in your whole life. So I am all of that put in here right now. And we are in the process of adding to the AI mission, the mission to build that legacy. Not build it, but say, hey, come here, legacy. Let's do this together. Let's walk down this road, because Fullerton, the world, I'm biased, but it's true. It is. Needs this stuff. We need things that make who and what we are better. And the stories coming out of that place are phenomenal. We'll talk more on later. I'm going to get a couple of questions here. I'm coming up on an hour here. So what emotions come up when you see that wave behind you on screen? Yeah. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? I'm really proud of that. And a little synopsis, and then Janelle with the guitar. Woo! I mean, that was a beautiful string sound. If you see that, put on the sound, because it's really good. And the emotions are everything I'm talking about now. And the emotions match what the mission of this journey, this new, not journey, this mission, this thing that is pulling me at it, in love and honor and in excitement. I mean, I'm like getting really pumped up. First time I could ever really add something back to her, to the legacy, to the people that forever supported that community support. I mean, she was tied in with all the schools, the high schools. I mean, amazing little tiny world. But yeah, I'm having fun. I part of the reason I'm on the thing I believe, and I don't believe this, it is. I mean, I can give you reasons to explain that. But this show had quite a path. I actually started a book. And the reason I started this show, I had another show that was really small as an industry thing, and it was Insights. But I started this to create, if you're getting an agent and a publisher, you're no matter what, they want to know that's sellable. So you need a platform to be able, and this is, an amazing freaking platform. And everything we talk about in the middle class is based on the book. There's 13 chapters: school, war, religion. That chapter is called Blinded by the Light. It's really good. So I needed to get a marketing scenario, and actually they're going to help me. From the conversation, we talked about this too. So this whole show started because of that. And so when I see that, what you're mentioning, Clayton, hey, Clayton, when I see what you're mentioning there, it's exactly why I'm here right now. It's the pride and feeling of something that I can add positive. I've got a lot of making up to do. So I can add something maybe positive here to the world. So that's what I see when I see that wave. Not behind me, behind Janelle. This isn't a wave. This is just a poor man with a word and a mission, and not much fluff. Maybe that'll come later, hopefully. Bradley's back. Bradley, you stud man. Last question, and then I'm popping off. It's getting a little long-winded here. How can we keep this? And I'm leaving this one on. How can we keep the spirit of places like Moe's in our own towns? Right here, brother, what we're doing. And each story is different. Each town is different. But, this country is evolving in wonderful, beautiful ways. But we can't lose the small town. The middle class it has a great tie to every little small town across America. That's where our leaders come out of. City people are a different breed, and they have that aspect that adds to the community. That's awesome. And then you have the calming, the more what is Trump talking about? Not realistic. Common sense. Just that old school pass through families. A lot more family, I think, out there. And we need more of that. So how can we do it? We do this. You get with your community leaders, and it depends, like I said, on the mission. I don't know. This is something. Hey, here, I'll tell you what. Here's what you do. Bradley, if you're asking that question for a reason, if you have something in mind, hit me up or comment on this later or now or whatever. Come on the show. I mean, this show is leaning into different things right now because it should. And like I was telling the folks last night, I've got this now desire. I'm becoming a 60s hippie, free love kind of dude. I'm like, the missions are all of a sudden becoming way more important to me than they ever have. And it's about the great middle class, and it's about everything in it. And if you have something specific, or anybody else have something specific in mind, I'm working with several people now to kind of bring some of this stuff together and create energy. The more we do together, the more it's going to happen. But bring your story, Brad. Hit me up. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. So I don't know. We're here. We have our insights, and we have our straight talk. And you always have Rodd Duff, your host, and producer Barbie. And if you look through the day, no, I'm out.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here, and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.